Hey, Dr. Chad here, Monday Fun Day, favorite day of the week. So excited to get back to you with a video here. We've had several questions, several people ask, how does chiropractic help with this or how does chiropractic help with that? So very specifically, one of the most common ones that we've gotten recently is how does chiropractic help with multiple sclerosis, most commonly just called MS for short. So it's one of the biggest mysteries in medicine. Most time to be diagnosed with MS, you've gone through a rigorous amount of testing, blood work, MRIs, CTs, and usually what they find is they find plaquing in the brain or in the spinal cord itself. So that's usually the hallmark definition of how to diagnose MS. So in chiropractic, we don't necessarily diagnose someone with MS or fibromyalgia or any of those conditions. We can diagnose arthritis, but our main focus is, of course, to remove that interference off of the nerves. But how does that help with MS? Well, when we look at all the studies, there's several research articles with chiropractic, and we'll try to post these in this video. But what is the biggest thing of plaquing? When we think about plaquing, most people think of what? They think of the heart and the arteries of the heart. So why would your body lay down plaque in an artery, or in this case with MS, why would the body lay down plaque in the brain or in the spinal cord? And that's what creates all the neurological issues. So you can have weakness, you can have significant muscle, loss of muscle tone, you can have double vision with MS. There's a lot of issues that happen with the muscles in relation to MS. And so, well, how does chiropractic help that? Well, when you have plaquing, your body will always lay down extra layers of fat in areas of your body, especially arteries that have been damaged. So in blood pressure in the heart, when they go into the arteries of the heart and they find that cholesterol is in the linings of the heart, well, why would your body do that? Well, when there's damage to the arteries, the body will lay down the only thing that it can to try to heal that damage to the artery, and that's actually the LDL cholesterol that people that think is very unhealthy. But your body is doing what has to happen to heal that area of damages in the artery. So in MS, what they're finding is there's abnormal blood supply, specifically to this main artery here that comes up in between in the neck, that goes into what's called the circle of Willis, which is the big circle of artery supply to the brain. And so what they're finding is there's plaquing in the nervous tissue, whether it's the brain or the spinal cord, and they're always linking that. There's one thing in common, especially from a musculoskeletal reason, is that every single person that has MS has had significant whiplash trauma at some point in their life. And whiplash can be as minimum of like 5 or 10 miles an hour is what the research is showing. So you think about it, when you have a whiplash injury, yes, we have the tension muscle-wise and joint-wise. Not many people think about your brain, and one of the biggest things that I'm very passionate about is concussions. I played football in college and had a lot of trauma, and I don't remember a lot of things in my life because of that trauma. So unfortunately, what probably happened is I probably have scar tissue in areas either in my brain or in my arteries, and that's why I have a little bit of still dysfunction with memories. Luckily, I can still go in and day out functioning and being able to serve y'all as in chiropractic. But so many people have had traumas, they don't realize the long-term ramifications of that. And with MS, there's a lot of nutritional things that can be done. There's a lot of supplements that need to be taken, especially nutrients that help lower the inflammatory things in the blood, so the LDL and the other cholesterol factors. There's an inflammatory protein that's in the blood that can be helped with some of the over-the-counter supplements that can help with MS. But the biggest thing is the longer that inflammation is there in the area of the spine or in the areas of the brain, the more the body can actually add more plaque. What's very interesting about MS is people have relapses where it's worse and then they actually get better. And they can have an MRI where all of that plaquing that was there before is totally gone. And so it's a mystery as why that happens, but we know why that happens. The body heals itself. It's always trying to heal, but guess what? The body's always also breaking down. And so in areas of increased inflammation, that MS inflammatory response will come up. When the body's starting to heal better and maybe the stress is getting better, that actually starts to go down. But we have several research articles in chiropractic that we can post here of how chiropractic actually helps correct some of that inflammation. It doesn't mean that somebody would never have another flare-up, just like if you work out a lot. There's no way to guarantee you by working out you're not going to be sore or get hurt by working out. But if we start over course of time and repetition, correct that inflammation and the source of it, which is that repetitive wear and tear or the damage to the joints, if we could actually start correcting that, it really takes away the potential reasoning for that to come back. So a lot of these neurological conditions Many times patients, they're diagnosed or labeled with something, and then they have no hope, because medically there is no cure for MS. They can try to control the swelling or control the inflammation, but there is no cure for MS. And chiropractic is not a cure for MS either. But what we can do is we can see major changes in relation to how much inflammation is happening in the spine. And if we actually do that really well, if someone is actually committed to getting better, we can see great changes in their spine and in the health of how their nervous system is actually functioning. And so MS is a very interesting topic, because all it is too much building up of inflammatory plaque in the spinal cord and in the brain. And there's a lot of things that can help with that. Chiropractic is one of the main ones. Well, why is that? We're not a neck pain and back pain specialty. We're a neurologic specialty, to say that if we can reduce the inflammation on the nerves, that'll decrease the vasoconstriction or the squeezing of the arteries, and that's what actually leads to a worsening of whether it's heart disease or MS. Is the more that those arteries are constricted, there's not as much exchange of good into the tissue and taking all the bad out of the tissue if that blood supply isn't done properly. Many people don't realize that the nervous system is what controls every vessel in your body as far as artery or capillaries. So that's one of the main reasons that with adjustments you can have lower blood pressure, you can have a decreased risk of having some of these inflammatory diseases, like cholesterol, anxiety, things like that. So great question for many patients that come into your office. How does chiropractic help with MS? Well, again, it doesn't cure MS, but it definitely can make significant changes. And most of the people that we see and that we've read research on is 70 to 80% help with the symptoms and with the issues associated with MS. That's way better than where most people were before. And so that leaves them having a much more functional life. So if you know anyone that has MS, tell them to watch this video, like this, comment on it. If you've been helped with some of the other conditions that are associated with, having vasoconstriction like high blood pressure, like, comment and share on that, because many people don't realize how much chiropractic can help, not just with neck and back pain issues, but with a lot of these inflammatory type conditions throughout the body. So hopefully you're having a great Monday or whatever day it is that you're watching this, but hopefully you have a great rest of your day. Look forward to seeing you soon.